Okay, how many of us have seen a gravity of plastic garbage scattered in every corner of every street and we do nothing to change it? Some of you will tell me that you pick it up and throw it into a recycle bin. However, not everyone has the same desire to keep our environment clean. I'm aware that this talk about plastic pollution has been heard or read many times. However, not everyone has considered acting on the matter. Today I will introduce you why we should act and be more aware of plastic pollution. I'm going to focus on three main points. These points are how plastic pollution affects us and the environment, why we need to find a solution, some possible solutions that recently have been implemented worldwide. First, let's discuss how plastic pollution affects us and the environment. According to terms Mary Ellen and Say Jeffrey on the plastic circular economy, even though plastic is recycled, most of it ends in our landfills. Recycling is not enough to get rid of it entirely because it takes approximately hundreds of years to break down. For this reason, most plastic waste end up dispersed in the environment, such as rivers and oceans. They also affirm that in addition to the long history of plastic regarding its manufacture, distribution, vast and extended use by consumers, even today a specific system has not been created that can be a conventional and significant way to capture and recover for plastic waste. A clear example of how plastic pollution has affected both our environment and our countries is presented in Lifeguards in a Sea of Plastic by Content Engine LLC. Content Engine LLC describes how most of their plastic waste generated by Colombian population ends up in landfills, which causes a big problem for these companies that want to use plastic as a raw material for the use of other products and thus avoid the contamination of our environment. Second, let's discuss why we need to find a solution. According to Asia News Monitor on Canada, one step closer to zero plastic waste by 2030, plastic waste is a severe problem affecting both the environment and us. Plastic waste not only affects fauna, rivers, lakes, and oceans, it also affects us through the water we drink, since it generates microplastic that sometimes leaks through drinking water. A clear example of why we must find a solution to plastic pollution is presented in Canada, one step closer to zero plastic waste by 2030. Asian News Monitor argues that, on average, Canada generates 3 million tons of plastic waste each year, of which only 9% is recycled, and most of it ends up dispersed in our landfills or the environment. Another example of why we must find a solution to plastic contamination is featured in Lifeguards in a Sea of Plastic by Content Engine LLC. Content Engine LLC describes that unlike big cities such as Bogota and Medellin, Buenaventura tends to produce an enormous amount of waste, both plastic and other waste. Therefore, this generates a considerable increase in the garbage in landfills. Last, let's discuss some possible solutions that recently have been implemented around the world. A solution to plastic pollution is featured in the plastic circular economy by terms Mary Ellen and Say Jeffrey. They describe a law proposed by the US government, the Break Free for Plastic Pollution Act of 2020. The purpose of this law is to impose certain obligations and responsibilities on plastic producers, such as prohibit the use of certain plastic products, impose education, publish about the subject, etc. Another solution to plastic contamination is proposed in Lifeguards in a Sea of Plastic by Content Engine LLC. The solution is to work in 5 different points. First, creating an eco-design in the packaging. Second, the implementation of education for civilians about the separation of garbage. Third, the government must create laws that can facilitate the recycling plastics. Fourth, the government must provide financial assistance for the development of new methods that can break the plastic cycle. 5. Finally, inform the population to obtain better decisions. Today, I introduce you to why we should act and be more aware of plastic pollution. I also describe how plastic pollution affects us and the environment, why we need to find a solution, and some possible solutions that recently have been implemented worldwide. I hope that with all the information, you will be able to understand and be more aware of the seriousness of plastic pollution that affects the environment and all of us.